On this week's episode of Teachers Off Duty, we are talking all about those fun games, what games we play in our classrooms, and the importance of playing games in your classroom. Stay tuned. Hey, best friends. Welcome to this week's episode of Teachers Off Duty. If you don't know me, I am Honest Teacher Vibes, and I, for the fourth week in a row, am joined by my lovely co-host. Tell the people who you are. I am Jess Smith, Teacher Tales of Miss Smith.
And I'm Tyler Jackowski, also known as Fishing for Clout.
Turn up. And you know what I like? I like that you have on the Board Teachers Comedy Tour.
It's what we do.
The struggle is real comedy tour shirt.
It's so soft.
It is a nice shirt.
I hope this wasn't meant to be a prop because I'm taking it. I'm going to take it. I promise. I'm going to get out of here and run.
We're stealing shirts.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to put my hoodie over and be like, I didn't get one.
I don't know what you're talking about. My shirt went missing and I stole it.
Me? I'd never steal. Kidding me?
So the Board Teachers Comedy Tour, it is bittersweet. We are coming to the end of our summer shows, man. We have had an amazing summer of amazing shows. So many sold out shows, brand new jokes. So next weekend we are in the North, Midwest for a bunch of sold out shows. Amazing. I like me a good sold out show. Say sold out show fast 5 times. We'll be in Green Bay, Wisconsin, Wausau, Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, and St. Paul, Minnesota for 2 shows. You know what that means. That means the first show was sold out. We had to add a second one. But we still have a bunch more shows this fall. Next month, we'll be in Rutland, Vermont, Syracuse, New York, Buffalo, New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, Dayton, Ohio, South Bend, Indiana, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, York, Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania. Then in October, we will be in Vancouver, Canada. Ooh. Second show added. You know what that means. Sold out. First show was sold out. Honolulu, Hawaii, Providence, Rhode Island, Waterbury, Connecticut, Medford, Massachusetts, Concord, Grape, New Hampshire, Lexington, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, Northfield, Ohio, Charleston, West Virginia. And then in November, which is my birthday month, turn up.
Mine too.
We'll be, it's your birthday in November? Okay, sorry.
So close.
In November, we'll be in Glenside, Pennsylvania, Huntington, New York, 2 shows, Montclair, New Jersey, Easton, Pennsylvania, Champaign, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Chicago, biggest show ever, 4,000 seats. Indianapolis, Indiana, and then we will be finishing off the year, and a great year it will have been, in Charlottesville, Virginia, Tysons, Virginia, and Red Bank, New Jersey, during the first week of December.
Crazy.
God, you talking about these dates. It's like you're just naming all the places you've ever heard of.
I know.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, this many locations exist?
Listen, it is crazy. The Board Teachers Comedy Tour has come a long way.
Yeah.
From our shows in the comedy clubs to Orlando Improv, starting out at the improvs and then moving into theaters has been...
It's crazy.
And if they don't go to your city, it doesn't exist.
Don't quote us on that. That's what he said, and he's a guest. We didn't say
Canceled.
that. Okay, so on this week's episode, we are going to be talking about the best games to play in the classroom. There is an administrator somewhere whose ears just perked up and said, no games in the classroom. But if you want engagement to increase...
I wouldn't teach in a school that didn't allow games.
I just said that because I knew Tyler would get ticked off.
Like, unless it's like who is this like Miss Trenchbull who's like refusing games in the classroom?
I'm trying to incite a riot.
You're gonna incite a riot. It's gonna happen right now. I just go running down the hall. No, but it's like I just don't understand. I don't know. It's almost like it reminds me of like iPad kids these days, and parents understand that like kids need to be focused on something and like stimulated by something.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't just have them independently doing like paperwork every single day.
I feel like they should just sit down and listen to a lecture. And I'm like,
I think some of the best classes I've ever taught in my 5 short years of teaching had to do with a game. Because my students are practicing, they're having fun, it's something to remember. They're also like working together in a way.
Yes.
You know, so it's like having a good little list of games to add on to lessons. It can be completely productive.
If it makes you feel better, you can call them hands-on activities.
There you go.
If
Kinesthetic learning, that's it.
Yeah, if games sounds like you're going to get in trouble, just call it hands-on activities. The best professional development I have ever been to, we did hands-on activities. The entire, the bare minimum he had to sit down and have to be still and write stuff was like 5 minutes each time. He was like, nope, you're not going to remember anything I just said in this 8-hour PD. God, dog, that's a long time.
Of course.
But it didn't feel like a long time because it was so fun.
But that's a dream for me because I've said this plenty of times, and I think you can know it because of the everything about me. Like, I have ADHD, and I didn't know that until...
What?
Stop it. Stop. I'll come over there. Stop it.
You got to get through me.
I just... So the thing is, like, I didn't realize why I couldn't sit still until I was 27, and they're like, the fact that you made it this far is kind of insane.
Yeah.
You know? But...
And think of how many of our kids are struggling like that.
Exactly.
It's really
But, like,
sad.
when I was in college, I can't sit for, like, 2 hours of a lecture. After, like, 30 minutes, I'm taking in 0. You know, it's like when you're studying for a test and you like cram the first 4 hours before the test.
Yeah.
You take in nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, I need to be moving around. I'm a huge visual person.
Yep.
It's like, for me, it's a necessity. And if
Yeah.
it's a necessity for me, it's
a
definitely a necessity for young kids.
It's a necessity for a lot of people. Yeah, I'm like, y'all want Peyton's kindergarten class. I'm like, the amount of time y'all expect 5 and 6 year olds to be able to sit still. I'm 34 and I can't sit still for the amount of time y'all expected those kids to sit still.
100%.
Even for the state test, those kids had to sit for 4 hours. I'm like, they don't get a break.
We're in
Then
the
they get a
TikTok
little 10 minute.
generation. We have like the attention span of squirrels.
Listen, my thing is the
Really?
fact that these social media platforms keep trying to push long form content. Hey, big dog, you had one job: stay in your lane.
Literally.
Right.
It's a TikTok. You in them 3 to 10 minute videos? Cut it out.
No.
Say it
it
louder
out.
for
Cut
the
it
people
out.
in the back.
Cut it out.
Because I'm over here stretching to a minute and I'm like,
No.
I can't do this.
Right.
Listen,
I
yeah.
can't. You
Wrap,
know?
wrap your statement up in 20 seconds or less. I'm scrolling past. Somebody
Exactly.
wrestling a crocodile in the video after yours. I got to
100%.
go.
Yeah. Right.
No,
Right.
it's insane.
Well, and isn't there only a short span of time? It's crazy how short a span is, like, for how long we can actively listen.
Yeah.
Even so, I can't even remember.
No,
I
it's
know what you're
remarkably
doing.
short.
Like,
It's like, isn't it like
3 or
70 seconds or
4
something
minutes?
like that?
Oh, I was gonna say for
Maybe mine's 70 seconds.
mean-
That's my diagnosis. Got it.
Your diagnosis is
Perfect.
showing.
It turns out that they're like, you are the focal point of our new research. Perfect.
Diagnosis
Great.
is showing.
Yeah. If I had a dime for every time I've heard that.
I've never heard that before.
I've heard that 3 times, but 3 is a lot.
I'm going to hear that in my mind from now on. Bri, your diagnosis is showing. I'm like, which one? I have so many.
It's just me screaming it in a
Exactly.
mirror. No, it's a nightmare.
So, what's some of your favorite classroom games?
Oh, Jesus. I
got to
yeah,
stretch,
no,
get myself
together.
I snapped my neck.
I was like, dude, it looks like it was
that
painful.
was not comfortable. I'm going to be
that was
super
like it
uncomfortable the whole
hurt.
time. No, I have, okay. So my go-to has always been like, as a teacher, what do I watch when I want to watch a game that's entertaining? I go to Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. So he has a bunch of different games. All you need to do is make the activity that they're doing in order, like, and obviously you can't really play Drinko, but imagine if it was you answer a question from a study guide and then you get to do this, and then if it lands in a cup, you get a prize.
Yeah.
Done. I've done that so many times. I didn't call it Drinko, but I built this friggin' thing out of wood and I brought it into the
you
classroom.
built something.
Hell yeah. It was like the size of this little back thing. And then the
That's
kids,
not
there's a little
big.
chip.
It's like
You put the thing in
Plinko.
the top. Plinko. Exactly. There was a name for it other than Drinko?
I watched The Price is Right when
I was in college
sick.
for way too many years.
I need to play this. It sounds so fun.
It's so much fun.
so
I need
fun.
something
I'll
for
bring
my
it on
kid.
if I come
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
So the
When
thing
he
that I'll
comes
do,
back, he'll bring
but if you think about it, it's like I'll have students on teams or even in
Yeah.
like pairs. So it's like you
They're
two are on a
competitive too,
team.
like-
I give you a question from the study guide. If you get it right, you get to go do that and possibly get a prize. Sick. If you get it wrong, okay, well, let's find someone else that can get you the answer. It helps them access the content that
Yes.
you're doing
Yes.
without making it so like
Yes.
basic and
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
You know, and like any amount of prizes, I get like these little 25-cent fidget
Yeah.
toys. Put them in the bottom of the bin.
Yeah. Right.
Whichever one it lands in, get a fidget
Could
toy,
be
and then
one
all of a
Skittle.
sudden,
And they're like, I won that Skittle.
yeah, all of a sudden, this kid's like the leader because he has like this little fidget spinner toy, which
Yeah.
in fairness, I love. I play with them all the time.
I love a
But
good
it's like
fidget spinner.
a simple contest
Right.
is fine.
Mm-hmm.
In most admin around the world right now are thinking to themselves, they're like, all right, you can play this game, but what happens when the kids start screaming at each other? If the kids are going to scream at each other for the game, why wouldn't they scream at each other for the lecture? It sounds like you have a classroom management problem and you need to fix that first.
Maybe Tyler should be an admin.
Hell no. Listen,
I was trying to incite a riot.
Yeah.
I have watched
Principal
so
Tyler.
many administrators, and this could be its own episode, but it's like, I swear to God, I could go on this for hours. I've seen so many administrators just destroy themselves trying to do an admin role because they realize that all of these ideas that they have simply aren't tangible. And one of the problems with it, it's like it resorts back to gaming. I had a principal she jumped in right after she got her degree. She was a principal for 1 year and then quit. Okay? And the reason for that is because she came in and she was like, oh, we're going to change how like Catholic schools do education, all this. And then the Archdiocese was like, no, the hell you're not.
Archdiocese.
Well, that's like, it's like the equivalent of like, what would you even call it? Like the state.
The superintendent or something?
Something like that. Yeah, like their office.
Yeah.
But like the
Y'all got
Archdiocese, they're the
archdiocese?
people who control Catholic schools. So they came up and they're like, no, you cannot play games. We're not having you play games. But they word it differently. They're not going to say you can't play games. It has to be focused academic work.
Yeah. Gosh, what are they? All the semantics they try to use to say you can play a game, but you can't play a game.
Oh, it's jargon. It's just the dumbest thing in the world.
Hands-on activities. We had a staff meeting after school, and it was like an hour long. But the staff meetings that we have after school are like my old school. Our staff meetings were like a quick. Y'all suck. This is what you ain't doing right. Bet we're all going home pissed off. You making me late for happy hour. I gotta go.
So straightforward.
The staff meetings that we have now in my new school, they are long, but they're productive staff meetings. It's stuff that I like. If it was earlier in the day, I would be more willing to pay attention. But I'm tired after school, and I can't do an hour-long PD once a month after school. But
Fair.
My principal makes us cookies, and I love her, so I try to be a good sport.
Wow.
But what I did realize during that staff meeting is that I am so sleepy and so tired, and I am trying to pay attention, but I am like, I don't care about any of this. The times at those meetings where we're like up or we're doing like a activity, something that's fun, I was sleepy, but now I'm wide awake.
You play way too much.
That's all I'm saying. So if it's like that for us as adults, what you think it's like for a 12-year-old who doesn't
did
realize
not
they
just
have
pull out.
ADHD yet?
Right.
I'm just saying. I will
Oh
sing
my
it
God.
again. Falling from. Okay.
Honestly, do the whole thing start to finish.
Stop it, Tyler. You have to do it with me.
But I will say, it's the administrators. Like this year, I was in Boston Public Schools. I had an administrator who is a absolute rock star of a principal. He's professional, but he like gives autonomy without it being like, you can do what you want to do, but I'm going to watch you from that camera, you know? And that's how it is sometimes. They like to, again, make these empty promises of like, you can do whatever you need to do. For me, he came in one day and we were playing a different game. I had a mini basketball hoop in my room. And what we did is like, I had students in clusters of 4 because I had this like packed room. I had students in clusters of 4.
Sounds like public school. Packed
Yeah,
room.
and I would put up, so we were doing MCAS vocab at that point. I'd put up a word. They would write down their... I'd put up a definition. They'd put up the vocab word that they think it is.
Yeah.
And then we'd go around to each table and we'd add in little tallies for each person that got it right. But the thing that made it fun was that if you got it right, you had the opportunity to double, triple, or quadruple your points. So if the hoop's right here and you shoot from right here, the like free throw line, you can double your points. Triple is like another 2 feet back.
I'm trying to get that question right.
Exactly.
Trying
You
to
know,
get that
and the thing
question
is,
right.
it's like I can play this game, and like who's gonna get hurt? What they designate one kid to walk up to the front of the room, take the shot, and if they make it, great, you get 4 times the
If they
points.
miss it, they're
Yeah.
gonna get berated.
And if they miss it, like whatever, it's hard. Like I can't make the shot either, but that's like everything about me. But it's like it's games like that. They're harmless. They're
Yeah.
focused. It's
Yes.
group work.
Yeah.
I just don't see the negative. The only time that it was
If a teacher doesn't have good classroom management, it can turn into, because I've had teachers play games before, and I'm like, hey, big dog, you ain't got that kind of classroom management. You can play a game. These kids fighting.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
There were
Wrap it
two
up.
times. There were 2 times where it didn't go the way I wanted it to, but even then, it wasn't that big of a deal. First one, substitute. Naturally, kids found the basketballs. They were playing one-on-one the whole time.
Oh, I was about to say, why the sub?
But like, even that, like, they didn't hurt anyone. Nobody got injured. No, like, believe it or not, they also got
you
their
had
work
like
done that day.
legit basketballs.
They're like little like rubber ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like that big. The hoop itself is like that big. And then the only other one is some kid tried to dunk on it. Keyword, tried.
Tried.
Yeah, he tried. He definitely tried.
Same
but he,
people slapping door
He didn't.
frames.
He just landed face first on the ground.
Yeah.
But then he's like
that's
laughing.
I think that's like part of the introducing games into your classroom. You have to have
It needs to be
a
productive.
sense of
Yeah, it's gotta be
like
productive. Can't be
You
like
need
or
to have
entire-
classroom
respect,
management.
or respect
Exactly,
too that
exactly.
that I am giving you this time. This is not something that would maybe normally
Yeah.
happen.
And it can be used as
100%.
an incentive.
It can be taken away just as fast as it was
Used as an
given.
incentive.
Exactly. Like when I did the same thing with my 5th and 6th graders, and it was even better with them because we'll start playing the game, and as soon as one kid starts screwing around, I'm like, we're done.
Yeah.
Sit down.
They're like, stop.
And then the other kids are like, yo, I didn't do anything. I want to play this game.
Yeah.
You know, so we're able to sort of evolve it in an understanding of like, we're only as strong as our weakest link.
Yeah.
Let's all act the right way.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly think it's way more of a positive than a negative.
Yeah.
It's just a couple
way
of
more
people
of a
did it
positive
wrong.
and
then some kid got his like face slapped.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's your problem.
Who's slapping folks? Why you have to slap him, man?
I got
Now we
smacked
can't
in the
play.
head when some kid tried to block my shot.
So you
honestly,
were the person that got slapped.
It's all part of the game. What are you gonna
Y'all, have you played like Blook It and Kahoot?
Yes.
Oh, listen, my favorite
I love
thing.
Blook It.
I'm like
Blook
obsessed.
It is my favorite.
Here's the thing. I am an old school Kahoot. Okay. Blook It, I see you. Kahoot was on the scene first. I love the Kahoot, man. It goes down. Them kids be ready to go to war over Kahoot.
But what's good about Blook It is that some of the games that you play on Blook It, the game itself can take strategy.
Yeah.
You know, and students like the opportunity to be like, I know the trick to this game, so I'm going to win.
Right.
You know, and then it's like, obviously, it's so funny because it creates a mentality of like, knowing the content will help me win the game.
Yes.
You know, and then it's like, and then
incentive.
a vocab word pops up and they're like, all right, that's obvious. Bing. And then they get right back to the game.
Yeah.
And they think that they're like avoiding it when in reality, they're practicing.
Did you know that because to me, that's like you think you're like not learning anything, but you actually are. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, because they are illustrated, kids don't feel like they're reading a novel.
Yeah.
When in actuality, those Diary of a Wimpy Kid novels are like a high Lexile level.
Yes.
But the kids are like, because you
beautiful.
got kids that like, they are not good readers, but they read the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book and they finish the entire book. And I'm like, hey, you know you just read a novel. And they're like, no, I didn't. That was a comic book. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And like the
love
depth,
that.
like you're with 6th grade ELA, right?
Yeah.
So you know that character development is one of like your, in Massachusetts, character development's like one of the massive standards.
Oh, absolutely.
If
Yeah.
you're reading
Absolutely.
like the anime books that kids love, the density of character development in those books, and they don't feel like they're reading anything because it's all visuals.
Yeah, but like Captain Underpants and
Hell
whatever.
yeah.
Captain Underpants ain't got no character development. You know
I
what I'm
used
saying?
to love that.
And I love Captain Underpants, but I'm like, hey.
But that's the thing, it's
I need
very
you to-
simple.
Yeah,
It's very simple.
Dogman,
Was another
Captain
one.
Underpants.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
true.
hey, it's
Yeah.
a good quick read, but you can't do your book report on that.
Right.
But that's
and
the thing. It's
and
like you're
graphic
just stuck to
novels
it.
too. Like those.
I like graphic novels.
absolutely count.
Because the book, one of the books that the kids love, the Wings of Fire series in middle school,
Yes.
they love that
Yeah.
series, and they turned that series as a graphic novel. And the kids, they have turned that book into a graphic novel, and the kids just race through that. They got me reading graphic novels. I was like, I guess I'll go read The Walking Dead.
And that's like, I think that's one of the coolest things about graphic novels is that some of these kids have been told since they were in 1st grade that they were behind, that they're not good readers. And then like all of a sudden you give them a graphic novel and that kind of opens the door. They're like, wait, maybe I am a reader. Maybe it's not.
But some kids
that I'm a
can't
bad
visualize.
reader. Like,
Some kids can't visualize the words. Like they can't read a story and the image of what they're reading is playing in their mind. So the graphic novels, it helps them. The only way to get better at reading is to read more. So the graphic novels, it kind of helps to have the picture out in front of them as they're reading.
100%.
We're fluid readers, so we can, I can visualize what I can create a whole as the author.
Speak for yourself.
Shut up, Tyler. You teach 11th and 12th grade. You teach research papers. You can read, fam. But
Fluent is so ambitious.
I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. This is how we were at the White House. I was like, stop.
It was so
Cut
bad.
it out.
It was so bad.
Stop touching the Declaration of Independence.
You're gonna get me arrested. They're gonna bury me under the prison. What are you doing?
Bro, they never would have even let you close. This is not, what's in it, National Treasure, fam. You're not breaking through the vault at the White House to sign the Declaration.
he gives a little Nick Cagey vibes. A little bit.
No, he gives, what's his sidekick name? Riley. Gives Riley vibes.
Oh,
Yeah. Gives Riley vibes.
Did you say I give off vibes like Nicolas Cage?
But I debunked that. You
yeah,
are like
it's
his
Riley.
sidekick, right?
It's
Who's his
Riley.
sidekick?
Riley.
It's like his tech guys. He knows everything.
It's
Little
Riley.
glasses.
Not
It's
ringing a
Riley.
bell. I'll take that.
That's Riley. That's a Riley.
I'm gonna
thing.
assume Riley's awesome.
So have y'all seen the study that says that, I don't know if y'all have seen the study, but have y'all heard about how they're saying that sitting is the new smoking? Because it's like the shaves. You okay? She's like, I'm sitting right now. I've been
She
sitting for
gets
4
up.
hours. She's like, we should do this podcast at standing desk.
I've been sitting all day.
But all I'm saying is, if for adults they're saying sitting is the new smoking, why these kids got to sit for 8 hours?
Oh,
We
it's
need
insane.
some type
It's
of like,
completely insane.
and some schools, well, especially the little kids, they don't have as long a recess anymore. They're like shortening recess, taking recess out of school, taking play-based learning out of school. So you mean to tell me y'all trying to condition them from kindergarten all the way up to high school to sit, be still, and listen?
Yep.
Well, I mean, another aspect of that is like sleeping in class. You know, if you're sitting still for that long, you can only expect that kids are going to start falling
The
asleep.
way that my eyelids were heavy
Yep.
during the staff meeting, I was like, Bri, you gonna have to stand up.
Yep.
If I gotta stand up as an adult, the kids they can't. As soon as they try to stand up, sit down.
Yeah.
I was
As
falling
soon as
asleep.
I felt like I was starting to lose them, I would be like, okay, let's get up, let's play something.
That is
And
a
you
teacher
have
that
to
is aware.
have a list of like quick games that you can play.
What's your go-to?
My go-to one was animal sounds, where I would have a bunch of animals in a hat or
Okay.
like a cup of some kind, and there was 2 of every animal, and they would each pick one, and they would all spread across the room, and you would have to make the sound of that animal and find your match.
I want to play that right
I am adding this. Oh my gosh,
It's so
that's so
fun.
fun
It
because
was
they
so
already
fun.
like to make animal noises.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna play
It
this
was
with my
so fun.
friends.
Yeah,
I know.
The other one that we always played was counting to 20. This one's all over.
I
This
know
is
this
a
one.
far cry from Heads Up
know
7
this
Up
one.
when we were kids.
So you would have to randomly get your class to count to the number 20, but it's random. So
How?
so if I say 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
7, so then we would have to go back.
So
So
I'm not
if
gonna
the
lie.
two of us
We
say-
need to do it now because I'm not gonna be able to leave or sleep tonight if we don't get to 20. So let's do it on round 2. 1,
2,
3,
4.
Ah,
Bri!
but you would get kids going like,
One singular job. Yeah, see, but if adults are fighting,
oh yeah.
kids are like, damn it!
I think my class got to 17, and it.
Oh,
Did
it's a
they ever make it
nightmare.
to 20?
We used to do it on the bus.
I am playing this game as
It's so
soon
fun.
as school starts.
It's
100%.
I want a total mutiny
You know
at the
that's
beginning of
fun.
the school year.
So start off. So take your right hand and point. Take your left hand and do a thumbs up. Switch them.
I gotta do. I'm supposed to be doing
The
this
way I
fast
sit in the mirror and practice this still,
Okay, hold on.
Wait, what?
people are at home just like doing this at their computer. It's so much
Why
fun.
can I not do this?
Do it.
Oh my gosh, you're doing it too fast.
Okay, hold on.
I can't. Okay, I gotta start over.
1, 2, 3. We're over here. I'm having an aneurysm.
I ended up like this, like.
Oh, please don't start thumb
I
wars.
feel like my games are lame. My games aren't as fun as y'all's games.
Let's hear it.
No.
Now you have to say it.
Okay, I do this game called the clap game. It's like 1 clap, 2 clap, half clap. And then when they, like, you got to do it fast. You're like 1 clap, and they clap once, and then 2 clap, they clap twice. And then you get them going, and then you're like half clap, and then whoever claps, they're out.
Oh, you
Ooh,
know what's
that's a
another
good
good
game.
one? You know what's
He's
another
like,
good
that
one?
one sucked. Here's another one.
Have you ever played rules?
No.
Okay, so there are rules. We're
It's
going
like
to play
shoots
right
and
now.
ladders.
But wait, when I tell you to clap, you clap.
Okay.
When I tell you to say your name, you say your name.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Name.
Bri.
Jess.
Clap. Clap. Name.
Jess.
Bri.
Clap. So now, when I say clap, you need to say your name. When I say name,
these are
you need to
mind
clap.
games.
Now
These
you're
are mind
changing the
games.
rules, fam. What?
Clap.
Jess.
Bri?
Bri?
She says your name.
Did you say my name?
No, I said Jess. And then,
Ready?
But
Ready?
she
Now
said-
that you know the
Nah,
rules.
I
Now you
don't
know the
know
rules.
yet.
Name.
Bri?
No.
What? No, you said start over. You said now that you
No,
know
I
the
said
rules.
now that you know the rules. When I say clap, it's name. When I say name, it's clap.
Nah,
clap.
stop playing with me. I don't do
See,
mind games.
Jess is still locked in.
That's why I'm single, because I don't play mind games. No.
But here's my thing too. You have to be really careful. You have to know yourself if you're going to start these games with your students. Because the reason that Blue Kit was so fun was I would log in from the back of my computer, like I would sit there and be like, oh, I'm just like monitoring back here.
Playing.
My
Destroying
Every
these
time,
kids.
bro.
Destruction.
Every time.
Poor Joey. Joey, I'm
Poor
sorry.
Joey.
I know I
Sorry,
made you
Joey.
cry once.
Sorry, Joe. Oh, Joey cried.
He was so competitive
on,
too.
Joey.
He was so competitive. But my one of the pairs in my room and I would like secretly log in and we would just destroy
Sounds like
them.
the
And they're like,
government.
who's Santa Claus?
We would log in as like New Hampshire news reporters, like the names of the New Hampshire news reporters.
Stop. They should have known that was
Ray
y'all.
Brewer.
The kids don't know the news reporters' names.
I would jump in and just put a random name, and somebody's like, "We've been hacked," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's destroying you guys.
I have to like X out of so many names on Kahoot as soon as I'm like, nope, can't do that. No.
Oh, that's what I tell them. I'm like, if I see a name that's anything other than perfectly normal, you're not playing.
Yeah. First
I
one
will
I see.
disable your computer.
Which is like the best thing.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, all right, close it. You get to watch all your friends play. Sorry.
To you.
And I'll tell their parents. I'll be like, that's exactly how I'm going to run. And the parents are like, got it. Sick. They're like, I would want to play too.
I cannot.
Have you seen the game where it's rock, paper, scissors, shoot, but you jump in the squares?
No.
You have to... So
we need squares right now.
So I know.
He's like, I need to stand up.
You have 2 lines starting on either end. So we used to do it in the hallway, and they would have to bounce, like hop in the squares of the tiles.
Like
of
if
the
they lose
school.
or something?
So they would
Corporal
both of them. I'm doing it. If you're watching on YouTube, this is helpful. If you're not, if you're listening, sorry.
You'll be fine.
But you have them like hop, and when they meet, they have to go.
Oh, I do know. And whoever wins stays.
And then whoever wins stays. You would have to go back to the end of your line, and I get to keep hopping until someone from this line comes and meets me.
How long y'all hallways? Because what? We got short hallways.
Our hallways are gigantic.
We got kids running into each other. I'm like, no, we got short hallways.
No, I mean, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. I love that.
I like that.
And also, I feel like there's a lot to say about... So, whenever my students are taking, like, standardized tests, because in public schools and even in private schools, they're kind of just like a death and taxes situation.
Yeah. Yes, and I like they are. That is the best analogy I've heard.
That's what I'm here
for state
for.
tests,
Professional.
Man. God,
I'm made for this.
Taxes.
But I try to like point out to my students that I'm like, listen, this test sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it. You hate it. It's probably not the best way to show how smart you are. I completely understand you on that. But when you finish it and you do the best that you can possibly do, I got so much ready for you game-wise. Like, one thing that I really love to do is I like to have good things come in threes. So when my students finish their map tests, they're able to, there's like a game. So there was like a part of their Chromebooks where they could like play games. So while the other people finish, you go on there, grab headphones, play your games.
Is it free sale?
I don't think so. No, it's cool math games.
I love
something
cool
simple
math.
like that.
Okay.
I was like, grab some headphones, go on cool math games. When everybody's done, we'll do sort of like a building game.
Wait, after map test, they can play a game? No way, dude.
Once their map test is done, I give
everybody?
them like...
Because is map not your state test?
It is.
Y'all can play games after your state test?
Yeah. Once it's done.
Once the testing tickets are taken up or what?
Yeah. Once everything's all done with.
This
is to say like for completing it, we got some fun to have.
Yeah.
Okay. So while everybody else finishes, you go on cool math games. Once everyone's done, I love doing like the little marshmallow like toothpick ones.
I love
who can build the tallest thing. So I have them in like groups of 3 and then they build that as high as they can.
They made us do ours with spaghetti noodles. I was like, we supposed to have toothpicks.
Like
it was hard. The spaghetti noodles just kept breaking. I was getting mad.
And then after that,
smack the whole thing
we almost always either watch an episode of something that they want to watch or watch like a quarter, maybe a half of a movie. You know, and that's me saying, and I pointed out to them, I'm very intentional where I'm like, this is because you did something that sucks and you did it like an adult, you got it done with, you deserve to enjoy yourself for a minute. Yeah. So it's like these games, in fairness, they should be a mode of helping students learn. Yeah. However, it can also be a huge incentive and also like a positive reinforcement to let kids know that you appreciate what they do.
But some people are like super negative about the reward incentive. They're like, I'm not giving them any incentive. Their kids hate them.
And their kids hate them.
Can't stand. Wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire.
I would.
I'm like, hey man, I'm saying it's a better way. You know, you're gonna take the hard way or the easy way. Exactly. Like, either way, it's gonna be long. Right. Because this is a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm like, it's okay to give incentives. We as adults like incentives. We don't get many teaching because y'all don't got extra money.
You don't go to work for free.
No.
So why would the kids just not get anything?
But you know how it is. Education is sometimes it's like a crabs in a bucket situation. One person try to be positive. Other people like, I'm not incentivized. I shouldn't have to give them an incentive for anything. They should just do it because it's what they're supposed to do. And I'm like, okay, bro, you a lost cause. I'm not talking about.
The thing is, I tell them, I'm like, all right, run that. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah,
because all the kids are gonna hate you.
It's not working for
it's
you
like
right
you
now.
versus your students the entire school year.
You're taking away an entire school year worth of students who could have had a better outlook on education. Yeah. So thank you for that. So the next teacher can have 25 students come into their class, hate education, and then just expect it to be negative. Yeah. So that I get to deal with these kids who are like, I hate you because you're a teacher. Right. And I'm like, let me see if I can fix that for you. Right. You know, it's just like, it just creates this snowball effect of like kids look at education in a negative light and it teaches them to not want to keep getting educated. Yeah. And it's like, listen, school is not the path to success for every single student. But
Say
if
that
you
again.
can't, if it's not, it's a fact. You can be absolutely successful without it. However, it's an opportunity for you to learn things from professionals at those things that you might not have the opportunity to find on your own.
Right.
So if you can create this understanding of like school is a place where I can have fun, play games, enjoy myself, meet friends, and learn something along the way and get better at something.
Yeah.
You're golden.
It's a good,
But it's that teacher that's like, no games.
They are kids,
They're kids, and I just
Can't
like
stand
that's
those teachers.
I know.
this idea that they're robots or they're supposed to sit in their seat and do all of the things. And I know like some teachers are like, I don't have time to teach the curriculum. How do you think I have time?
You're wasting your time teaching the curriculum if you don't do something that's engaging. It's falling on deaf ears.
It also sounds like you're teaching it wrong.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, they're not listening to anything. If I get through the curriculum, hip hooray.
All I'm saying is something
awesome,
about my principal making them cookies before staff meeting. You know we all don't want to be here. You acknowledge that we don't want to be here, and you're like, I know it's a small thing, but it's something.
Yeah.
Like, it shows that you care about the fact that, like, we're tired. We don't want to be here, but we know that this is something that we have to do. So you're going to try to make it as enjoyable as possible.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, I think it ties into something we talked about. I don't know if it was the last episode or 2 episodes ago where it was like teachers who won't sort of like jive with the changes in education.
Yeah.
It's like if you're one of those old-fashioned teachers and that worked in the 80s and 90s, fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed those years. However, kids aren't the same.
No,
if you take a child in the 80s and a child in 2024, they're simply not the same. It doesn't make them any better or worse.
Right, they just have access to different things.
Exactly.
Times have changed. Y'all don't have technology.
And you need to be able to take the differences between the two. If you took a kid in 2024 and put him in the 80s, the kid would fail.
Out of school.
He would probably be known as a dumb kid. He would probably drop out all this because he's not getting what he needs.
Yeah.
And that's the fact of the matter is like you need to be able to provide what the kid needs. The general consensus therein is that kids the age that we're teaching need to get energy out.
Yes.
They can't sit still the whole day. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, okay, do you want your kids to have a positive outlook on education? Or do you want to be that person that they remember when they have another teacher that they don't like?
Yeah.
And you're just starting a pattern.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which obviously, because we didn't get to talk about this in the new teacher, veteran teacher episode, but all kids are not going to like you. It's not, it doesn't matter. You could jump over monkey bars and do backflips. Shut up, Jess. My kids like me.
That experience.
Not the voice rasp too. All right, Valley. All right, do you?
At the end of the school year, a kid that you thought hated you, and they're like, you was my favorite teacher. I'm like, what? You called me a B word the second week of school? I thought you hated me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you threw a desk at me.
That's my love language. That's a love tap.
Physical touch. It's like, I get it, dude. Like,
so aggressive.
Is this an act of kindness or act of service? Jesus, get away from me. No.
Yours is not words of affirmation.
No, mine's not. Mine is get away from me and leave me alone.
Have y'all ever played Four Corners?
Oh, yes.
Have you played Four Corners?
I think so.
I will say that I have yet to figure out a way to make Four Corners educational. It's just fun to see them. Somebody pick a number and that corner is out.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about now. Yes.
I'm sure that I could do. Somebody was like, you could do it with state test questions, and like whoever pick A go to this corner. Whoever pick baby, it's other games we can play with that. Four Corners is for the sheer fact of entertainment. If
it was something about watching them like prance around, like
right. Like, hey, big feet.
And they think they're so quiet. It sounds like there's like a marching band coming across the room.
And then when they like go to a corner and then stomp in that corner and then
run to the other corner. I'm like, I know your tactics.
What kids would do is they'd go to one corner and take off a shoe and like throw it at the kids at the other corner.
I've never had a kid do
that. I'm like, all right, sit down.
That's how to win.
Enjoy not playing.
Here go me instead of sit down. That was a good tactic.
I know. I would be like,
I'm going to invite you to leave. Yeah, it's genius, but sit down.
That's a strategy.
Be smart while you're not playing.
Do y'all have to? So before we play any game, especially in middle school, we set those rules first. Like, hey, the second anybody does, so the throwing the shoe, second anybody hits anybody, horse playing, talking crazy to each other, roasting each other, whatever, y'all sitting down. And then I just like to see the kids manage themselves. It's the coolest thing. It's just like they go from like depending on you to like, so you can immediately see who is the ringleader, and they're like, hey, stop.
Yep.
Like immediately. It's the coolest.
100%.
And you get to see your kids' different skills when you play games.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like you don't just see them academically, you see their little personality skills and what they're good at.
Well, I mean, kids will react a lot differently when these like expectations and rules are coming from other kids.
Yes.
Because when I say like, if I see somebody doing anything crazy, I'm going to have them sit, and then I do it, one of the other kids will be like, listen, you messed
stop.
up.
Yeah.
Just go sit down. Maybe he'll let you play again.
Yeah.
And then when you hear it from a kid, it just like kind of humanizes it.
Yeah.
You know? So I love giving kids the opportunity to be like we used to have Peacemaker of the Week each week.
Oh, I love
as
that.
incentive. Yeah, and we would give them like a toy. We would give them like this little card that said like Peacemaker of the Week is this kid. We would like do like these nice pictures of them holding it up, and it was always just. And that's the thing. It's like I would have like Peacemakers of the Week. They could like leave for recess 5 minutes early.
He's giving me so many good ideas for next year. I'm like,
know,
oh,
no kidding.
But it's great because it's like it incentivizes what kids do over the course of the week rather than like that was a good choice. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it can be like, and we always kind of like buried the line where it was like this kid did all of their work. They helped out the
Yeah.
people around them. They were respectful. They helped work with a kid who didn't understand the directions. Our first Peacemaker of the Week is blank.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
And it gives time for kids to win awards that are not academically always like at top notch. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's like if you watch everybody be always on the honor roll list and you're like, dang, I'm doing my best, but my best is a C.
Yeah.
But you're good at like acts of service or helping other people or, you know, rallying the
Right.
masses. It's nice
Right.
to, you know, like you look at you got the citizenship
Yeah.
It's a
award.
whole
You're
different
like,
skill.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like management skills.
Yes.
You know, I think that should get as much credit as
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
for
but I
sure.
will say one thing that's always funny is, so my last year at the old school, we had 25 kids in the 5th grade, and we were going like, we were way into the school year. I think we had like 20 weeks in or something like that. And there was this one student who was just like always bullying, just being like a mean girl, just like always treating people really disrespectfully. And I overheard a conversation when she was like, I mean, we only have like 5 weeks left. Like I have to get chosen in one of those weeks. And I looked at her and I was like, "You're adorable."
Yeah, you ain't
you think
getting-
you think I'm gonna give you Peacemaker of the Week if you don't do it?
You ain't got a
No.
snowball
And on
chance
her
in hell.
week,
Yeah.
I just like gave it to another kid that deserved it.
Right, because why
Because the
would
thing
you-
is, there's not scheduled.
That's
Right.
like,
And she told me, she
you're
was like, "Why haven't I
teaching-
gotten it?"
No, because that's a realistic life skill. Like,
Fix the way that you're acting. What are
Right.
you doing?
Yeah,
You know? I'm like, stop.
I love
the
Boston
way-
teachers. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Fix
It's
the way you're
insane.
acting.
I will
Start
say
talking
that
about-
teacher that I talked about, a veteran teacher that helped me, Miss T, she taught me that. She's
I need to meet this
Yeah,
Miss T, man.
I know.
oh my
She's still
God.
in education?
She's hardcore. Yes.
still teaching?
Yeah, I
Miss
saw her.
T?
I went to their graduation a
Miss
couple
T,
weeks back.
when I come to Boston, love to meet you.
Oh, she would love to meet you
Love on
too.
Miss T.
Yeah.
I need
You
to
can,
learn all
when
the
we go to
meet all of
Boston.
them. They are
Learn all the
fantastic.
things.
I'll introduce you to Sister Karen.
Sister Karen.
Tyler, I love you,
What up?
TikTok.
I love it.
She's amazing. I
Hey,
love her so
need
much.
I need a Sister Karen
if I could-
character on TikTok.
If I could like adopt a grandmother, it would be Sister
Sister Karen.
She's fantastic.
Shout out to Sister Karen and Miss T.
100%.
good
They're
people.
both incredible.
So for some of the games that we did, so if I was looking for more of a creative route, I always had these blank pieces of paper with like a random scribble on them.
Okay.
And I copied the scribble so that everyone had the same scribble. And they would each get the piece of paper and they would have to create it into a picture of their choice.
Oh, I
so
love that.
whatever they chose, they would like present it. It would be like something super, super quick.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
like that was always just like, you know, like
Anything
a 5
that
to
lets
10
them get.
minute,
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Anything that
quick
lets them
break.
get up, they're like,
Yeah.
And another thing with that is it highlights the kids who have like creative abilities.
Yes.
Because there are very, very few opportunities for them in like the
Yeah.
course of a week
Yep.
to get hyped up for their drawing skills.
Right. Other than art class,
Yeah.
that was their only time to kind of show off their skills and be
100%.
the
yeah.
It's
and
beautiful.
be the star student. And then or just like the kids that would come up and you know like 5th graders, they would come up with like stupidest drawings, like a French fry riding a horse in a
They are so-
on the moon.
their
Like
little
it was
brains
just
are
like
so creative.
I loved it.
I want
They
that
were
tattooed on my back.
Right? I wish I had like saved it.
Immediately. I'm just, come on.
And
Do
I'm
it.
like, and it was a very bad drawing, but they had no shame. They were
We
like,
like the idea.
"This is hilarious.
We like it. We rock
This
it.
is hilarious."
That is too funny.
Another one is if everyone starts with a sentence prompt at the top of their paper, and then you fold the paper. You would write one sentence and then fold the paper. And then pass it on to the next person. The next person can read your sentence, and then they would write the next sentence, and then they would fold your sentence over. So then pass it on to the next one, and they read your sentence and try to just keep the story going based on what was read in that.
I'll be counting numbers. Which one of y'all wrote something inappropriate?
Exactly.
Who is
I
number
know.
13? You going to the principal's office.
Like, Kevin, Come here.
Going to the principal. Hey, that was inappropriate. It wasn't me.
Here.
This your handwriting right here.
Come here.
You have distinct handwriting. I know how you write your E's.
Another thing that's like a weird way to look at games in the classroom is like when I was doing my master's degree, I was able, we had the opportunity to run like a research study. And I decided to go the research route because I wanted to write a thesis on it. And this was also during COVID.
Never heard anybody say they wanted to write a thesis.
Well, it was either that or like this like huge project, which would have had like a 40 slide presentation. And I just felt like doing the writing. And I wanted to try research anyway because I was like, when am I going to actually have time to do this?
Yeah.
So I knew that I couldn't sit still, wasn't even diagnosed with ADHD yet, but I wanted to do a study that looked at how to help students with ADD and ADHD.
Yeah.
So I decided to look at how brain games can affect the productivity of students with ADD and ADHD.
Yeah.
So in my 6th grade class, I had a sample size of like 18 kids. So what we did is like the brain games that we did, instead of like it was similar to like the one line thing where you draw that you were talking about, but it would be even like a word search, something simple like that. Or there were a couple where it was like the letters would be jumbled up. You have to figure out what word it actually is.
Yeah.
And you just do them really, really quick. It would be like 5 minutes. So I'd give them this little brain game. It wouldn't be graded. It would just be like to get their brains running.
Right.
And I was very transparent with them. I was always like, listen, this isn't meant for you to be like, oh no, I'm going to fail. Like, no, just play around with it.
Right.
Literally, if you spend 5 minutes trying the first question, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I had like my focal kids. So, and these were 3 focal kids who I already knew were diagnosed for ADD and ADHD.
Yeah.
So I would watch them. Over the course of the year, so we'd do the 5-minute brain game, we would do a mini lesson that was like 25 minutes, and then we did, I think it was like 25 minutes of like independent work.
Okay.
That was like right on time.
Yeah,
But over the course of 6 months, the actual completion of work and their MAP scores specifically, I had a kid who was testing in the like 15th percentile. He was in the 88th percentile.
We're just going to shamelessly throw that in there. You better talk about it.
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
That's
and
amazing.
the kid told me, because he was getting trained to turn on his brain before class.
That's amazing.
And the thing is, for some of these kids, you can't do it by just being like, all right, let's learn.
Yeah.
No, you need to like literally get the processes of the brain moving so that then you can apply that to content.
Yes.
You know, and their reading skills went up. I had a girl who couldn't read at a Lexile over like 400. By the end of the 6-week trial, she was reading at like a 750.
Oh my gosh.
Which is solid.
That's
It's not
amazing.
I'm gonna call you.
fantastic.
I'm gonna call you after this because I need them.
I got you. Don't you worry.
My
but like
kids.
for 6th graders, like it's not necessarily like, oh my God, but for a kid who's on an IEP for ADHD because they're having cognitive delay, that's fantastic.
That is
growth.
amazing.
You know, and the fact that a 5-minute brain game can be the difference between those two things.
It's like that's the science right there, y'all.
Also,
come on.
Part of my study was like you had to find examples that I used. So I had like this booklet. I could probably find because my thesis is printed somewhere. It's like the last 30 pages of my thesis because the thesis itself was like 78 pages of writing. It was.
He actually got it
dumb.
as a tattoo bag.
It was, it's just like the Constitution across my back. It's just, no, it's the craziest thing. But I also will say I have to credit COVID to finishing that thing. Because when we started school at 9 a.m. from home, I was up at like 5 a.m. writing all morning, and then we started school and I stopped. And then I'd do a meeting with my advisor, and then I'd write for the rest of the day.
What I know is I'm not going to be able to get a master's because the way my
This is my
attention
first
span.
Well, in fairness, the program that I did was supposed to be like 2.5 to 3 years, and I did in 1. Because I wanted to get it over with. So I did like my night classes.
So,
I just like tripled up my writing and all that. It was ridiculous.
Tyler just trying to make y'all think he played too much, but realistically, he's a genius.
Yeah.
No, I just was like, you're like me. You can't sit still.
You got some good ideas. And to be empathetic like that to your students because you can relate to what they're...
I mean, sometimes you don't even need the great ideas. You just need to be empathetic to it. So for me, I was like, if I can be empathetic, and also we were able to defend our theses. So we're able to actually like talk to the school board about it, and then like they implemented it across some of the
Are you serious?
education platforms.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
That's
really,
awesome,
really cool.
Tyler.
And that's the kind of thing that's like...
What y'all got going on in Boston, man? Mississippi need to come on and see what y'all...
Boston crushes it. I mean, we have some really, really good teachers. Some of the best teachers. I mean, obviously, I haven't met all of them, but like, I've met some teachers that are just like next level with like trying new stuff, implementing empathy, doing SEL as like part of a normal Common Core.
They would talk about SEL more.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's like a huge part of like gaming is like gaming in the classroom. Like that's huge huge for SEL.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. And
It's not.
It's not. You just have to be willing to take. And I think sometimes the state test subject teachers we're like, especially when it's close to testing, we're like, I don't have the time. Like I need that time. And it's like, no, that 5 minutes, it literally 15 percentile to 8.
Well, and
it's
I
the
think
equivalent of a do now. Timing wise. I hate that word as much as you do.
I think also like there's this. When you first start those brain games, like I remember like doing quick, and the kids would be like, at the beginning, I don't get it. This is so hard. They're so resistant to trying anything new, to anything that challenges them remotely.
Sounds like us as adults sometimes.
Yes.
It sounds like me.
Sounds like us at the
35
beginning.
times a day.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
I can't get in the
don't
door.
wanna.
The key's
Like-
not working. You watch me fail like 9 times.
It's me at the beginning of professional development.
Really got
I'm like,
logged out.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
But it's
All the time.
that. But then once they like start to get into the routine and start to
Yeah.
understand it and start to understand how their brain works
Right.
a little bit more and like
Yeah.
how they can solve
It's kind of
stuff.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's cool.
And I think that's probably why you saw so much growth
Yeah.
was because
You might have clarified some things because a confused mind does nothing. So
Yep.
your
And
game.
another thing, it's like if you find that the class is kind of like, this doesn't make any sense, make it competitive. Kids love a good competition. Be like, see if you can figure out this riddle before I do.
Or if everybody's confused, maybe explain it better. Or explain
That's
it in a
true.
different way.
Exactly. You can like take a minute to actually explain the thing, but the kids who didn't need it benefited because they're like, I'm a genius. I figured this out in 2 seconds.
Right.
Every kid thinks they're a genius.
Yes.
Every single kid, they're like,
do you know
I'm
how like
way
solving
smarter.
a riddle makes me feel? I'm like,
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, and it could be something little. Somebody's like, "You want to hear a joke?" And as soon as they said, I'm like, "Oh, I know the answer," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm smart." They're like,
smart.
"You read that on your Laffy Taffy wrapper." I'm
Dude,
like,
if I bring my groceries in one run, I feel accomplished. Why are we talking? What are we talking about with riddles? Are you kidding me? Like if I get one Jeopardy question right, I turn the TV off because I don't want to hear the rest of them. That's it. I'm
You're
like,
like, I
I'm
win.
done.
He's like
I'm gonna go
strong
on a
arming
walk
his
until
groceries.
tomorrow. No, we're done here. But it's
Tyler
like,
out walking all night because he got one Jeopardy question right.
that is so true though. If I get one Jeopardy question right,
Turned off.
I've done
I look
Jeopardy with
over
my
at
students too.
whoever's in the room, I'm like,
I'll look over to Rania. I'll be like, and then she's like, my love, this is Celebrity Jeopardy. Just because you and like I don't know, some random comic from the 80s got it right doesn't mean that you're a genius. She's like, turn on the real show.
I don't know.
And then Final Jeopardy's like,
She is like, let me tell you the truth. I'm not gonna have any delusions in this relationship.
it's like colonial geography. I'm like, nope. Not doing it.
Immediately turned off.
I don't want to know how much I
Immediately
can't
turned
size
off.
up against other brains. I'm golden.
Oh, I don't want to know at all. That would crush my confidence.
No, I'll take no for
They say
500.
comparison is the thief of joy, and I will be sad all the time. So-
Yeah, it is. I have no joy in this brain for the next like 2 months.
have your kids done the shadow boxing thing? Have you heard of this?
Sorry?
You've talked
The fact
about
that
this
you
before.
don't know it,
Shadow
you're like
boxing?
a cool teacher. The fact that so
I
it's
mean, like
it's
slap fight?
Nah, it's essentially their idea. It's essentially their idea of like rock paper scissors. So they like face each other. Me and Casey Mack did this on one of the episodes, but they face each other and like if I do this and you can't.
Oh,
like,
I've seen them play it. I don't
is
even
the
want.
cool-
I don't think I'd be good at
They do it like really fast and like your game where you was like, dude, the way my mind's set up, I always lose shadow boxing. Are you okay? Hold on, let me try. I can't
This is
do
the last 20 minutes of the
it.
podcast.
I think
I got it.
Ah, dang it!
I had it for a second. I had it for
You know
a second.
how many years I've been practicing this?
We gotta
And
do
I
the one
can finally
two.
showcase
He's like,
all my
I know,
talents.
He's like,
This is my time to shine.
I'm like, Mom, look! I'm like, holy crap!
To do the 1 to 20 thing. I'm like, let's do it. 1.
All right, here we go.
No, I already started. Cheater. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
7.
7.
Oh my god. Okay. Come on. Do we have to be looking at each other to do it?
Yeah, actually, it's probably better if we look away. We're gonna look like psychos.
1.
2.
I think we need.
Yo, I can't.
Tyler is left.
Listen, I can't do
Can we
football.
do it to
I can't
10?
do basketball. I need to win this.
Okay.
Give me something. Come on, please. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8.
9.
10.
We didn't.
We did the 10.
I thought we go to
did
20.
10. Well, we can go to 20. I thought you said 10. Okay.
I did.
Sorry.
I said 10.
Okay. 11,
12.
13. So I feel like,
This is such a fun game. I'm like,
to an
this is-
extent, that felt like my fault.
Here's one more fun game. Are you ready? Just think of a random word.
Blue.
Okay.
you're supposed to say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
You
Don't
didn't. The unclear directions.
Yeah, okay. Don't say it out loud. Okay, think of a random word. Ready? And say it out loud.
Go.
Cat.
Okay. Go and cat.
No, goat.
Oh, goat
Why do we
and
both
cat.
think of animals?
Goat and cat. You have to think of a word that has to go with goat and cat and say it at the same time.
What?
This is gonna get so
I'm
canceled.
confused. Don't you dare say it. Wait, what?
So, like, goat and
So
cat.
we need to find a
think I
common.
have a learning
We need to
disability.
try. No. We need to try to say the same word.
So
we're
find
gonna
a
go
common
for
word.
goat and cat and try to say something similar that they both have in common.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
ready?
like how sure she just want to see what I just saw. I'm like, all right, let's creep me out today.
Okay, you ready?
I think so. Say it. Say 3, 2,
we
1.
say it?
No, she says 3, 2, 1. Then we say it.
3, 2, 1.
Milk.
Furry.
We both said milk.
Furry milk.
Ugh.
I don't like those words together at all.
We had-
Yeah.
Why did we
Why?
both? Oh, he said why didn't y'all both
Okay,
say
so now we
animal?
have furry and milk.
That's nasty. What are we supposed to do with that? Furry milk.
So that
We have
find
to
a
do
word
something
that's-
else.
That's the cafeteria food. Furry milk.
The milk in your cafeteria is furry?
We got some weird public school milk.
Maybe I don't want to go to Mississippi.
Oh, it ain't nothing up in there.
Is
No,
that-
you
is
stay
that
in
milk
Boston.
unpasteurized or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What in the world?
Where'd
don't
they
have-
get it from?
We have no goats. I don't know.
I don't think we can find a word that goes with furry and milk. Go one more.
Okay.
Find something.
What? With furry and milk, or we starting over?
No, furry and milk.
I mean, I have
We're
a
gonna
word, but I
find
don't know if
something.
I
We're
can say it
gonna
out
find.
loud.
I can do this. I can do this. Stop. Stop, because I know what you're thinking. Can we just blur it
Ready?
out if we say it right? Furry and milk?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Titty. Did you say it? Is that what you said? What did she say?
Teat.
Oh, wait, you said what?
Teat. Not
Like-
titty.
But that's the same word. We win. I'm quitting forever. I'm never playing another game. This is great.
That was amazing. Okay, we probably will continue to play games after this episode.
Hell yeah! I love this.
This has been an
Let's
amazing
do another one.
episode. We'll do one after the podcast is over. This has been an amazing episode of the Teachers Off Duty podcast. We would love in the
this is
comments to
hectic.
hear what are your favorite games to play in the classroom. Obviously, these games were amazing. I need to play this one more time. After
You all
we,
gotta blur that out
after-
heavily.
They
I'm gonna get
will,
thrown
trust
off of
me.
TikTok.
They will blur it out. But follow me, Honest Teacher Vibes, on all social media platforms. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can follow me at Teacher Tales of Miss Smith.
And
Fishing for Clout on TikTok, at Tyler Jackowski Official on Instagram, and Fishing for Clout on YouTube.
follow the Teachers Off Duty Follow the Teachers Off Duty podcast and the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. Get your tickets to the Board Teachers Comedy Tour.
See you
We
soon.
love you, best friends. Bye.
See ya.